Hi, I'm MashUp, and welcome to The Hot Seat. The Hot Seat is an honest and open interview with guests from all different professional backgrounds, talking about their career, personal lives, the parts in between, and what keeps them going. So without any further ado, my first guest on this edition of The Hot Seat is former Team GB and recently turned professional boxer, Jordan "The Wanderer" Reynolds. Jordan, how are you?
I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. I mean, it's been a strange few months, hasn't it, for everyone? And
Strange, yeah. It's been a strange year, mate. It's been ups and downs and little setbacks.
Yeah.
But the only thing we can do is adapt and evolve.
Yeah, I mean, how have you been keeping busy? How's the lockdown been for you?
Do you know what? If I'm honest, mate, it hasn't affected me. Like I'm always in isolation.
Okay.
I'm always in lockdown.
Yeah.
It's part of my game. So lucky enough, I had friends who had a gym. I was just staying in the gym, working towards, and for me, it kind of was more of a motivation. I thought to myself, like, this is a time now to see who wants it and who don't want it in my game.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I just try to stay positive and just crack on, mate, and just keep pushing forward.
I mean, that's the way to be, isn't it? Obviously, in times like this, you've just got to keep your spirits up, and you've got to, just somehow, you just got to stay occupied.
Stay positive,
Stay
mate.
positive,
Stay positive.
yeah.
Stay busy.
Yeah.
I know you had all these rules and that, but
Yeah.
I was just doing what was going to benefit me and my career, and just keep pushing forward, man. Like I say, in times like this, you've got to adapt and evolve, and just keep working towards the next goal.
No, I totally agree with you, Jordan. I totally agree. So I want to first take you right back. So I want to go back in time towards where it all started. So I want to first ask you, Jordan, what does boxing and sport mean to you?
Everything, mate. Boxing is my semicolon. Like it's without boxing, I'd be a very lost kid. I'd be an insecure, frustrated, angry, emotional kid. I was. That's without boxing, and that was maybe due to my upbringing and things I was seeing, here and there.
Yeah.
So boxing kind of gave me this sense of gratitude and made me feel like I belong somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
And was it like a sense of hope for you to try and get back into start getting into something that you enjoy?
I felt like I found my purpose. Like I felt like I finally found something where I belonged. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always felt an outsider, and I never was really settled. And but when I was in the boxing gym, I just felt like, this is my home, and I just like. It's a real release for me, and keeps me on the straight and narrow.
I mean, how did the journey start, and how did you find your way into boxing?
It's like, to be fair, like as a kid, I was always fighting. I was always fighting. Like I was brought up. I was brought up like a bit old school ways. The dad had 5 brothers, and they'd make us fight in the back garden. I was from a council estate, so you got to be brought up rough and tough anyway. Especially where I'm from. Otherwise, you're never gonna get by, and you're the target. So, but like. Growing up, my dad and their brothers, they always had like me looking at idols like Lenny McLean, Charles Bronson, all these public figures, and like I knew how to kind of like I've always been around fighting, do you know what I mean? And then I see it growing up, and then it was like this spite in me, and I never shied away from a fight.
So for you, it was obviously the way you grew up.
Yeah.
You were fighting, and it was so for you. It was just about how you could channel that energy and put it into something, and that's where I guess boxing came in.
Came in
for
like that's why boxing kind of feels natural for me, because as a kid and growing up, it's like I was always fighting for survival. I was always fighting from whatever it was, from like fighting other kids or even family members, just to prove something, or just to fight to get somewhere where I need to put food on the table and come down to the house early. Do you know what I mean? So I've always had this fight in me, but.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot of responsibility, obviously, as you've just said. You bringing dinner on the table and whatnot, and obviously it's probably what sparked your hunger even more.
All day long, and I feel like you need to experience some of these things when you're growing up. Like it can damage you as well in a way, but it's all character building. I never really used to think, it's a negative, but it's all just character building. Do you know what I mean? All this stuff, and that's my go-to. Like when I'm having them days where I'm feeling a bit down or unmotivated, I just reach. I look back and I think I'll pull out my go-to. Mate, I was homeless. I've seen certain stuff and all this kind of stuff. That's
what's driven you more.
Drives me every day, every single day. And now where I've had this mentality for so long, it's just a habit. Like I feel like I'm so disciplined in this sport and this area. Like it's just a habit. I don't need to I don't think I wake up and think, oh, I've got to do this. And it's just gym, training, schedule, program. You know what I mean? So it's all just natural habits. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I've made for myself. And as I grew up older, I kind of understood how the world works and what was good for me. I was lucky that I kind of found out about myself early. And I've always stayed true to myself early.
Yeah.
And that's really helped me, because you see, like with my sister, my sister struggles with a few things, like from my family issues and stuff like that, and she never had that release or that understanding of what she needs to do to make her feel better. Do you know what I mean? Where I've kind of, mate, I've grown up early, mate. I was a man in the house at 15. Do you know what I mean? 14, 15.
So again, as you've just said, and it's a big sort of lift on your shoulder that you've got to, now you've got to try and, because you've got the family as well. So you've just thought, now look, you've got to turn towards something. So that's boxing. So and it's fair play.
Yeah.
It's I don't think I could ever step in the ring, but
it's a hard game. Sometimes I question myself, man. What am I doing?
But going on to a bit more of your career. So obviously you spent many years as an amateur.
Yeah.
And you've had, I think, statistically, 110 fights, with winning 96 of those.
Yeah, that's right.
And in that time, you're a national champion, 3-time ABA finalist. Do you feel ready now for the professional ranks?
Mate, so ready. Like I've done everything you need to done. Like you said, I've won the ABAs. I've won everything in the nationals. Won the British titles. I've gone out. I've boxed the best in the world: the Kazakhs, the Cubans, the Russians. But won golds for my country for Team GB. And Olympics would have been the icing on the cake, don't get me wrong, but obviously things happen, COVID and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's unfortunate, really.
You just have to adapt, and you've got to crack on with it, do you know what I mean? There's no point me sitting around dwelling and thinking, just got to carry on. So now, I'm 25 years old, I've done literally everything I was always told I could never do, I've actually done as an amateur. Like, I've represented my country, become England captain, I've won every national title there is as an amateur, senior ABA champion, gone to Olympic teams, done 4 years with them, travel the world.
So there you have like an amazing experience there already.
That's it.
So
pedigree, apprenticeship. That's what I see as an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And and then now it's just time to, the program is where it's at, and it's gonna, like, I'm a showman anyway. I'm a bit of a character, so the program's gonna be fun. Do you know what I mean? But it's a hard game. It's a business. It's a business. It's a dog sport. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'm ready to make a big statement in the program.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to go on quickly about Team GB. So obviously you were there, as you've just said, 4 years. So what was, obviously when you were there, what was life like as a Team GB, amateur, professional boxer? What was it like for you in terms of your experience, what you've, how you trained, and, the people you met? And you've trained with some big names, sparred with some big names like George Groves, James DeGale, the McCormack brothers, Joshua Buatsi. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it's very, very honourable. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, even just for picking up medals for your country, and like you end up being like, especially in a town, you become a public figure. Do you know what I mean? And it's great to think. I like it more just because, like, I come from nothing about it, and it's evidence where kids can relate and they think to themselves, oh, it is possible. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's honourable. Like, being up there, it's great. It's a great feeling, but it's hard work. It's repetition. It's not for everyone. Like, when I got into the team, there was 4 or 5 of us got into the team. I stayed hungry. I thought I've got a long way to go. But a lot of people thought to themselves that they've made it. Yeah. And within so they kind of they took the foot off the pedal, and then after 3 or 4 months they got kicked out of the team because they weren't performing. They've gone to the team and they thought they've made it. But that's just where it starts. You know what I mean? But do you know what? Being on Team GB, like, for 3 years, for the first 3 years, mate, I must admit, it was a struggle for me. Like, it was a real struggle for me because I had a lot of niggles, had a lot of injury, I had so many setbacks, and before I got onto the team, a week before my last assessment, I ruptured my bicep, torn it off. So I was like, and do you know what I mean? So I thought to myself, that's 1 week before to go into the team. Do you know what I mean?
That must have been a big blow for you at the time.
I was all this. I mean, I've done 3 trials. The last one, I had to just pass that, and then I was onto the team. Then I ruptured my bicep. Went to the NHS. They operated. Then they said they couldn't fix it. Think about your career. Then I had to go private. Then they managed to fix it. Then I had to have 6 months of rehab. Got into the team. Sparred with the Rio Olympians. Felt like I'd come on bigger and better. So I was just working on certain things. Then I got into the team. Then I had this other injury, like all like build up in my elbow for the first year,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to say nothing to them because I
Yeah.
thought I've just got on with an injury and
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? So for the first year, man, I was fighting with an injury. Like I couldn't even lift my arm. It was so painful. I had like all fluid and floating bone in my elbow.
Yeah.
So they sent me to tournaments, but I was always getting to the final. I thought to myself like, doing alright here, but I had to tell him in the end because it was just horrific.
Yeah.
The pain was horrific. So
that must have been, obviously you must have felt really gutted at the time. The training, the dedication,
everything. Yeah.
And the way boxing works is, you have to always stay ready, isn't it?
You got to stay ready, and that's why I didn't really want to say stuff because there's always the next person to take your place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're always competing with 2 or 3 people at the same weight.
Mm.
So then I had that, and I was like, oh mate. And then the year after that, I stick the disc in my back, and then I fought for the whole year. I had 9 fights, 8 wins with sciatica, mate. Slipped disc, didn't train for the. Oh mate, it's been crazy. But the first year, the last year of GB, I kind of found out myself, found out what works for me, what don't, and mate, I ended GB, winning a gold in Belarus.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously due to certain, what's happened this year, obviously Olympics, like you said, would have been the icing on the cake. But you can still say to yourself, look, I've achieved this. I've got the gold medal. So it's not really, of a total,
Mate, yeah, mate. I'm listen. For sure. Like believe it or not, my goal was never really to go Olympics. Like it really wasn't. It was just to like learn my apprentice and then turn pro and then clear up in the pro game because I've always been suited to the pros. But when I got to Team G, I thought, okay, Olympics, mate. I might as well just wait 4 years. I'll be a mug if I didn't really. Do you know what I mean? So I cracked on with that, and then I won the gold in Russia. 5 fights in a week, boxing, the European champ, beat everyone, all different countries, and then I was set up, and then we just had so many. This year is just crazy. I went to. I thought they gave me 2 weeks off, so I thought I'll go do some charity work in Africa.
Okay, yeah, I saw that on your Instagram actually. Yeah,
done a bit of charity work. I thought, give back. Just I was just in a good place. I must help give back in that.
Yeah. And
then I went to LA to start building up for a training camp so I'll come back in GB, fit and ready. And then all this stuff happened, and I thought to myself, I don't think I'm 25 years old, over 100 fights. When you're on the team up on GB, you're training 3-4 times a day. Right, so it's a lot of toll on your body. Yeah. You're getting hit every day. Yeah. Like it's every single day, every single day, every week, right? And over 4 years, that's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. So sometimes like people leave their best years in the amateurs. So when they turn pro, their punch resistance is gone. They've left their peak self in the amateurs. Where I felt I didn't really want to do that. I worked a lot. I thought to myself, mate, I've done 4 years now, mate. That's me. Like, I'm ready. Yeah. I don't want to leave it in the amateurs.
So you feel like you've obviously done a certain amount of time as an amateur, which is fair play to you because you've done 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. So now you feel you're at a time where you're 25 and you're ready for the professional ranks. And obviously boxing is such a short career. You've got to grasp every opportunity. I guess.
Exactly that. And I believe like it's all about timing. Yeah. And like to be fair, like everything. Listen, I just trust it all, mate. Because my time's always been great. Like. Even when there's setbacks and things like that, it's always worked out to be better for me. Yeah. In every situation, I always used to think, what's going on? But then there's always a bigger and better thing.
And it's like you said, timing's really important. Key. And you've just signed for MTK Global.
Like, so I could have turned pro at 18 years old. My career would have been finished by now. Yeah. I had 40 amateur fights as a junior. I had Frank Warren knocking at the door. Turned pro at 18 because I could sell loads of tickets. So I just wait, just time.
You wanted to build it up, so like you said, you had Frank Warren knocking on the door for you. So you could have started at 18 and potentially even finished now. But
could be finished now, mate. Like not even. When I was nowhere near as good as I am now, I would have probably lost that domestic level, British level. Yeah. And there's no money in boxing at that level. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be boxing as a business. You've got to be a whole brand. You've got to be able to fight. You've got to be able to speak on the cameras. Yeah. You've got to think about yourself. Otherwise, you get pushed to one side. Yeah.
So I just want to, obviously you've just turned pro, Jordan. Yeah. I just want to go on to a bit more of your training now, actually, because obviously you train in Ireland now, and your trainer is Peter Taylor. Could you give us a little insight of what the day-to-day is for a boxer? What exercises do you have to do? What do you do in the gym? Is there a specific routine you have every day?
Yeah. So Pete, every boxer is different. Every person is different. You know what I mean? Like everyone peaks differently. Everyone's at the same different level. So we all have different programs. But like over in Ireland, when I'm there, like I love camp. I literally I really do love camp. I love being away. I go away in Ireland. I'm away from everyone. I'm locked up, and all it is just me, the room, the cooker, and the gym.
So do you feel like isolating yourself away?
I love it.
It gives you that more concentration,
yeah.
the focus, and the drive on what you need to do.
Well, I need that goal, mate. Like, I believe you need that vision. You need to be able to see things clearly. And like, listen, I'm from the town. I know a lot of people here, and it's easy to get distracted and do the wrong stuff. Or do you know what I mean? So I just like being away, keep my head down. And when you're training 2-3 times a day, you know, from your early hours of morning and running, well, mate, it's so much what we do out there. It's crazy.
So would you say it's a mixture of cardio and punching the bags?
A lot of it's mental toughness. Like, especially over there, it's cold out there, man. So like in the morning, we're all up at 6-7 in the morning. We will go to the beach, meet to the beach, and we just walk into the sea. Do you know what I mean? For like an ice bath.
Yeah.
And we stay there. Do you know what I mean? In and out, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, things like that. Then we go back, have a shower, have some food. Then we go train, recover. It's repetition. Every single day.
Yeah. So obviously, as a boxer as well, nutrition, food is important. Is there a certain diet plan you'd be following while you're in camp? And do you cook any of it yourself?
Mate, I love cooking, mate. Like, that's my little distraction. So as soon as I finish training, straight to the kitchen. You know, it kills the time in the day. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, the food. Listen, when you're on a proper diet, it's plain and boring. It's plain and boring, mate. You eat 3-4 times a day, small meals. You know, you have a nutritionist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's you got to be clean, but you do got to get everything right, like sleep in the early nights.
Yeah.
Your nutrition, turning up. All these are 1%.
Yeah.
They're little 1%. But do you know what? When you start boxing at world level and all this, it's them little percents that make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's the little things. It's the little things that people don't see.
And if there was a cheat day, what would you have as your cheat day? What's your favourite growing up to now?
Do you know what, mate? I got a sweet tooth, mate. So I just like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with biscuits and chocolate, mate.
Okay.
Like I just my ideal, be a Sunday, a nice roast or whatnot, and then I just chill out, put a film on, and just have loads of popcorn, chocolate, biscuits.
I like that. You're really easy.
Yeah, it's really easy, mate. Yeah. But the thing is, it's dangerous. It's hard for me because, like, there's not one food I don't like. Yeah. I love every single food. Like, I don't actually. I love all food, mate. Like, literally, there's nothing I don't like. So it's like when I'm out with a missus, like, what do you want to eat? I'm like, mate, listen, you're the fussy one. I eat anything. I eat anything.
I like that.
Yeah,
you're simple.
Easy.
You're easy going.
It's just easy, mate. You know what I mean? Just I eat anything, mate. Do you know what I mean? So,
And obviously, Jordan, you've obviously trained now for a long time, even as an amateur. Yeah. If there's someone trying to lose weight or gain muscle in strength, what advice would you give them on that?
I would say eat less, eat clean, and train. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah. And should people follow a specific sort of routine?
What it is now, I think what it is now as well, we're getting to a generation where we're getting more soft. And we're getting soft to this younger generation coming up as well. We're going, there's so many steps to things, and do this. There's 5 steps to this, and you know the detox, lose weight. It's not like that. You got to go down the hard route. Where you got to sacrifice. You got to. It's hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's hard. Like you got to go through the hard and the painful road.
Yeah.
To if you want to lose weight or get to somewhere.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not gonna benefit in the long term. It's like Rome weren't built. I always say Rome weren't built in a day. It won't build in a day, right?
Yeah.
But it hasn't decayed. It's still fucking falling down now. It's still falling down now. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's no quick fixes. Everything's long term.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we've got to be. It's just I just think you got to be a bit. You got to be hard on yourself, mate.
Yeah.
You got to be. I'm a big believer. Like obviously, I do a lot of stuff for mental health.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I believe we need to teach the kids mental toughness.
Yeah.
And how to deal with things in life.
Yeah.
And like instead of teaching silly things in school like algebra and whatnot, we should be teaching them about mental health, about how to deal with things, about fitness, about proper real food, and no quick fixes. The quick fixes never.
I know you've recently campaigned for schools bringing back boxing into school. Yeah. Do you feel that will benefit children?
100%, especially when it comes to bullying. But I'm not saying like get loads of kids to come out and start having a tear up and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like no, but like, I believe if you bring boxing to school, it's the discipline, the release, and it takes away the bullies, mate.
Yeah.
The bullies don't want to know.
Yeah.
It takes away the bullies, and you get a lot of bullies in school where bullies are just applying their own insecurities onto other people.
I mean, that's it.
Do you know what I mean? And like growing up as a kid, people used to go, I hate bullies, but do you know what? It's just their own insecurities.
Yeah.
And they're just placing onto other people. But if you brought books into schools, I promise you now, if you brought books into schools, right, that will tame the bullies. There'll be no bullying, mate.
Yeah.
There'll be none of this, mate. Everyone will be tame, and it's such a release. And you respect. You have people who suffer from mental health, or they're closed in and they're not confident. Mate, I was like that, mate. I was insecure, angry, frustrated, hateful kid, man.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I craved attention, so like that's why I was getting in so much trouble, because if someone said do something, go rob someone or go hit, I'll do it. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Boom, I'll do that. I was a young one and there was always older lads. I'll do that. Do you know what I mean? I'll prove myself. So you need that. You need that into school. I'm a big believer, honestly, and for me anyway, it helped me out.
So
I think sports in general.
So do you feel that if boxing, just like how you've just said, like if boxing were to be back in schools, and let's say if you had it in your time, even like when you were going to school growing up and whatnot, do you feel like it would have probably benefited you and it would have kept you away from certain things as well, and you might have, even gone down another way?
All day long, mate. Like even today now, I'm ashamed of the things I've done. Do you know what I mean? Like before I found boxing, and like some of the lads now I used to hang around with, they're in a bad way anyway. But like we were talking about the other day, I thought, mate, I've done some wrong stuff, like some wrong stuff, and.
But that's all part of life, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just about, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect,
yeah.
and we just, we learn from it, and we pass on, what we've learned, and how, we can grow as, people.
People, for sure.
Yeah.
But then it's like for me, if I didn't find out, if there was no boxing, or they didn't bring the boxing to school, things like that, and I felt that first bit of urgency of like I felt at home, where would I be in today? Because I'm such an extremist. I'm either up this end of the scale, do something positive, where I'm making it, or I'm trying to inspire people, and I'll try and help anyone I can.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Like I know how it is. I'm either up that, or if I didn't have that, mate, I'm down here, mate.
Yeah.
I'm down the negative side, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm different. Do you know what I mean? So there's no in between for me. I'm either there or there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And boxing's my.
Outside of boxing, then, Jordan, what do you do to occupy yourself? What do you like to do?
Do you know what? Like, it's mad, because obviously I'm from like rough council estate and things like that, and how I was growing up and that. I kind of found out, I liked all the 50s music and things like that. I used to watch
nice.
I love all that. Yeah, so I started listening to. I was walking down. I went from UK rap to grime, walking down the road. To like I'm now walking down. Like 18 years old or whatnot. Walking down the road, listening to Elvis Presley and all this, and I was like, what's going on here?
Nice.
And then I used to watch all these old films, and they all could dance and things like that. So I thought to myself, I'm going to learn how to old school dance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is when I was about 22 or something.
Okay.
So I used to just go away, and I used to love it, mate. I used to go to these dance lessons.
Nice.
No one would have a phone, and I just learn 1950s Lindy Hop, jive, Charleston,
Nice.
and that was my switch off, because I was just boxing. So I never could switch off. So that was my switch off. But then I started taking over. I was doing more dancing than I was boxing. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I need to stop. So
I take it Strictly Come Dancing's on your list.
next year, mate. Next year or the year after, mate. I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now. It's coming. I promise you. So we'll see.
Go on then. So you like that 50s era?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
So who's your favourite artist? How have they inspired you?
Oh, mate. Do you know what? It's got to be like. It's always been like the likes of like with the old people even know these, right? Like Hank Williams, Johnny
Williams.
Cash, Elvis Presley. These kind of people where
Frank Sinatra.
But they kept true to themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they had the morals and the respect. You can tell they never looked for trouble. They were just about themselves, about their business. But like especially with Elvis now, like he's just done his own thing, man. Like everyone was like, mate, you're different. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't shy away from it.
Yeah.
He just done his thing, and people just ended up took a log into him. Mate, he ruled the world at one point. Do you know what I mean? Just for him being himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I always say to someone like, don't. Because everyone's like a sheep nowadays. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants that's the best. People don't hardly now, right? People don't even like rap music or whatnot, right? because everyone's favourite song. They like it because it's everyone's favourite song. I'm just like, mate.
So do you feel like people are just following the trend?
Just following the
and
trends, man.
what's with the time now?
Yeah,
whereas,
that's
you know,
100%.
people aren't really going back to what you had before, you know, in the sort of older, sort of 20, 25 years, 30, 40 years ago, even, you know.
And especially nowadays, like, that's why I'm a big believer, like, with, like, even now, like, the generation coming up now, and it's getting worse now because obviously the COVID and the, you know, people not socialising, but this is where mental health is going to rise up. You've got, and I believe parents are to blame as well, like, you're going, oh, but my kids' mental health and that, but when the kids are playing up at home and things like that, they just go, yeah, here's a phone, go in your room, and because they can't be bothered to deal with the problem.
Yeah.
It's the quick fix again.
Okay.
So the kids end up on their phone in their room, comparing themselves to Instagram, which is a fake world anyway, nothing's real, and they're getting all depressed. What am I like? Do you know what I mean? You think?
So do you feel like technology is having a big impact on mental health?
100%. But like, we need it because, like, for business and branding and whatnot, like, it's good. Like, we're all bad for it. Do you know what I mean? We all have a little scroll for it, whatnot, but like, you got to know your limits. You got to know, like, this is not real life. Like, I was lucky, man. I believe the '90s era was the last era of, like, playing knock up ginger, throwing eggs, or getting. You know what I mean? Like, I never was on, like, the phone to text people where they were. I knew where everyone was by how many bikes were outside someone's house, and I knew that's where my mates were.
Yeah.
So I go knock on the door and we'll go out. Like, but it's done now, mate. And like, kids now kind of, they find it hard to even, like, have a conversation, man. Do you know what I mean? About it's just it's mad, and I don't know like all this stuff, like this social distance. Like, I know it's COVID and all this stuff, mate, but it's gonna take a real impact on mental health and, you know,
I mean,
suicide,
we've seen during this pandemic that, you know, we've had a lot of people are struggling, you know, and, you know, if there is anyone out there that are struggling, please do, you know, reach out, you know, everyone's here to help, and, you know, but, you know, as you've just said, you know, this pandemic has really affected everyone, I think, you know, from people's mental health, businesses, you know, everyone.
100%. Like, this is supposed to be a pandemic, right? And it's a 99% survival rate. The real pandemic is going to be the suicides. What's happening, mate? Honestly, that's going to be, the lockdown is going to cause more deaths than this pandemic, mate. Honestly, and you've got to be careful, mate, because the economy and everything, and people's businesses, what's going on with people who've got dreams and things like that, and ambitions? They're stuck.
Yeah.
They last passed away, mate. In fair, like, don't get me wrong, all right. Like, you've got to look after the vulnerable and the old all day long. Yeah, I'm all by that, all day long, mate. But you can't look everyone at, like, it's mad, mate. It's crazy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Going on to a more lighter topic now, Jordan. Yeah. Could you give us 3 different things that people don't know about you already?
Oh, mate, I don't know. 3 different things that people don't know about me. All right, let me. This is a good one.
Take your time.
Oh, mate,
Take your time. It could be absolutely anything that don't know about you already, people.
Oh, mate, do you know what? I just kind of put myself out there as I am anyway. You know what I mean? Everyone knows I like all weird music.
Come on, Jordan.
I would say
there must be 3 things. It could be absolutely anything.
3 things. All right. I would say I'm quite. I would say, quite not sensitive, but I take things to heart.
Okay.
But I always feel for people. So, like, if someone's getting hurt, do you know what I mean? So I would say, like, I'm very don't know.
Caring.
Yeah, but I would say caring. Yeah, I would say, like, I don't like. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. I can't really explain it.
Okay, I'll take that one.
But I know what I mean. So
2 more.
2 more. I would say I'm a bit damaged. I would say I'm a bit damaged from my upbringing. I would say.
Okay.
From I'm not very. I wouldn't say, like, I care for people and whatnot, but I find it hard to be affectionate and show the love. Do you know what I mean? I think I show love in different ways. So I don't know if that's some certain things what's going on, but yeah, that's a big thing. I don't know if people know, but yeah.
Okay.
And 3, I think. I don't know. 3. I'm just. I don't know the 3 one. Third one. So I was trying to
I
think.
put you on the spot, haven't
Yes,
I?
mate, it's a great one.
That's why I chose this question.
Good one, mate. Never been asked that one. Mate, it's a good one, mate. Lucky you can edit this. Mate, I'm really struggling with this one.
I'll let you off, Jordan. I can tell you're a sweet soul.
Yeah, but then in the other side, I got so much spite in me as well. So like, it's like I can go the other way, but I don't know, mate. Like, I don't know. People know, like, if you know me, I'm always happy. I'm 9 times out of 10 always happy. I'll try and do anything for anyone. Like,
I'll take that one as your turn.
yeah,
Don't worry.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, when you're in the ring,
Yeah.
you're obviously facing your opponent, and in your mind, you've got to, in your head, you're thinking, I have to knock this guy out. I have to do everything to win. How do you, do that? Like, how do you?
The switch of Jordan Reynolds, the normal lad, the dances, the music, to Jordan Reynolds, the kill be killed instinct, boxing. That's that. And do you know what? If I'm honest, right, that's the easy bit, because that's just where you grow up with so much trauma and you see so much fight. The fight's always been in me.
Yeah.
So that's the easy bit. The hard bit is in there. It's staying calm and disciplined. Sometimes my emotions can overdrive me.
Yeah.
And I can try too hard.
Yeah. And
that's when you start making mistakes.
So do you feel like it goes all out the window when you're in the ring? This whole, your persona, it's just straight.
It's tunnel vision. Like it's so easy to me.
Yeah. I
don't know if that's because I've always had tunnel vision as a kid, where I was just visioned like certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, so it's like, but the only difference is being clever with it and controlling it, and it's staying disciplined and calm in there. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite natural to me, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's a fight at the end of the day, and I've been fighting all my life, mate.
Yeah.
Like from the setbacks to boxing setbacks to life setbacks. Every single day is a fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it always will be. It's a fight for all of us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just overcoming every day. So yeah, that's the easy bit, mate.
Do you ever get nervous anytime you get in the ring? And I know it's a natural thing anyway. But,
people who say, listen, you walk in there, I walk in there, and I'm thinking to myself, walk into the ring, and you got to imagine, right? So it's actually a mad sport, right? Especially when you're on GB and you've flown to different countries, to Russia or something. I've flown all the way to Russia to go have a fight with someone, right? We don't know each other, we go to the fight, and you walk in there, you think to yourself, you get mad thoughts. This is where you got to be mentally tough, mentally focused. You get thoughts like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I fighting him? You was out a couple of weeks ago, you had a few drinks.
Yeah.
Did you diet? You get so many mad thoughts going up, but as soon as you step into that ring, right, boom, it's just like, I don't know, it's weird, it's a weird energy, and it's just like, right, that's it. Everything goes, you can't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't. It's just vision, mate.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Oh.
Like, but if you're not, like, I've had it before where I've not been focused. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've not really been focused, and halfway through the fight, I'm like, I'm thinking thoughts in my head, like food or something, like dinner, or some mad something. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? So like, it's mad. Like, you got to be 100%. You got to be focused. Do you know what I mean? So because in boxing, it takes 1 second, mate, and then boom. Do you know what I mean? So
just to end, Jordan. So my last question to you is, obviously in a time like this, I think everyone's struggling in different ways, and so to your fans, what message would you give to them? To people that are following you, that look up to you, that are inspired by you. What message would you give to them?
I would just say the message is stay fit, healthy, strong, and always be ready. Always be ready for. You always want to make yourself ready for anything what life throws at you. Because life's hard. Life is hard, man. Life is hard, and there's gonna be so many setbacks along the way. Do you know what I mean? So up and down, up and down, up and down. But that's when you're getting the setbacks and you're raising up high. That's when you're living. Do you know what I mean? So, and during times like this, I think just like I said, you got to do what's best for yourself. Be selfish be selfish in a way. I believe you've got to be a bit selfish, and if you don't make someone else happy but makes you happy, then so be it. So be it. Do you know what I mean? And think for yourself. Think for yourself. With all the stuff going on, with people drilling certain things into your head to do things or whatnot, or circumstance or whatnot, think for yourself.
It's a very
Don't be
strong
a sheep-
message
don't be a sheep,
and a
mate.
lovely
Yeah.
message. Jordan, thank you so much.
Thanks,
It's been a
mate.
pleasure to have you on this instalment of the Hot Seat, and it's been amazing hearing your journey you've had so far. And I wish you all the best in the future going forward.
Cheers, man. I appreciate it, man. Wicked.
And thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you listening. I would also really appreciate if you guys could like, share and subscribe. Thank you.
Wicked.